Well, show goes up on Sunday, but I'm sitting here shooting in my dining room on Friday night. TGIFF. First F is not a typo. Last week this time, I had just gotten home from Miami from Mom's funeral proceedings. And so I want to take this opportunity to dedicate this entire show to the memory of my mom. Now that the sort of dust has settled, she's in the ground. My sister and the family, they sent up a bunch of stuff. They've been going through all her possessions. There was the bequeath stuff, but then there was just sort of the left behind. Do you want this? Who wants that? A lot of FaceTime. And so packages arrived of stuff that I said, yes, I'd like that. I'm trying to go into Swedish death cleaning mode. I'm trying to eliminate stuff from my life. But there were certain things in Mom's memory. I'm like, yes, I definitely want that. Some things didn't make it. I had chosen this beautiful little ceramic pitcher that had a handle like a little jug, and I like these things for red wine. And there was a nice little green glass bowl. It was quite beautiful, like a Pyrex type bowl. But I talked to my sister, the Bean. These were not super sentimental items. They were just things she had. So no loss. And by the way, it's not a total loss. These things don't go completely to waste. What I do with pots like this, pieces of shards like this, you see how they're curved? It's almost spring planting time. And I'm going to be repotting the house plants and planting, blueberry bushes in big pots. And what you do is you take these things and you put them in the bottom of the pot. So in a flower pot or a big terracotta pot, you have the drainage hole at the bottom. Well, you put this over the drainage hole. Let's say that's the bottom of the pot. And then you start putting your soil in, and it really helps the drainage because the water flows down through the soil over this and then out through the bottom of the pot. So that's what I'm going to be doing with these shards. So all is not lost. I would have loved this for the red wine. I had one years ago that I broke. But not particularly sentimental items, so no big loss. The important things did make it that I really cared about. So let me go through some of those. Well, actually, first of all, I chose this one. She had a couple sets. Mom loved her sashimi. We all do in my family, and as trendy as it's become in the U.S., we got turned on to it before many people in this country even knew what the heck it was, because my mother's brother, Vincenzo, who I talk about a lot on this show, basically my main culinary mentor, he turned us on to sushi and sashimi when we were little kids, and it was not the ubiquitous thing it is nowadays. So there were two sets. My sister sent me, which one do you want? I chose this one. And I couldn't be more thrilled because I've had several sake sets over my lifetime. I'm a habitual breaker. Things just get busted. But this one I really like. So I'm just going to take one of the cups because I'm here solo tonight. But this is nice, 4 cups, and for a nice little, soon I'll have to cook a little Japanese dinner. But come on into the kitchen with me for 1 second. I want to show you what I have going for this. Come on. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, I also took some of these nice pots from Mom. Cooked some ravioli in this one the other night. It's a little pasta or asparagus season is coming. Nice little tall pot with a little steamer basket, boiling basket. So I did some ravioli in that the other night. I love it. And you bet I'll be putting some asparagus in that in about a month and a half. This one I took, it's a double boiler. I love this thing. I already got started with this Hakutsuru sake. This is just a table sake. Nothing elaborate. But I'm heating it up. Oh, it's nice and warm. So this is just a basic double boiler, right? In this case, I have water in the bottom and in the top because I wanted to. Now, if I was serving a lot of people, I'd just put the bottle in there, but I don't want to heat the whole bottle up because it's just me. So I just warmed up a little bit for myself. So let's fill this up. And then we can go back in the dining room. Put that back in there. We can actually turn the heat way down now because that water's hot. Now let's go back in the dining room. Pour a little of this sake. TGIFF. Saluti. Or whatever you would say in Japan. I love sake. Let me show you some of the other things. Also, there were two of these. One broke. Sorry to tell you, Bean. And this one has a little chip in it. But I'll use it nonetheless. A little soy sauce container. Here's a nice little, this one's intact. I like this. Put a roll out on there or some pieces of sashimi. And this I really enjoyed. This little bag came filled with a whole bunch of little chopstick holders. Look at this one. Eggplant. Eggplant emoji. Traditional one. What do we have here? Is this a swan? Some sort of a bird? That almost looks Chinese. It's got, looks like Chinese lettering on it. This might be one of my favorites. Little fish. Nice, very basic. And I have a few more of these. I have some of my own that I got from Vincenzo many years ago. Little holders that you rest your chopsticks on. So I'm going to enjoy this sake. However, sake, rice wine, all wines really. When I drink wine, to me it means food. Okay? Again, cheating y'all again. Not going to cook tonight. In Mom's honor, I stopped after work, called a little takeout order. So let's take a look at what I had for dinner tonight. And I'll set up one of these chopstick holders. And let's set a little takeout supper. What do you think? Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Slide this aside. Let me choose myself a chopstick holder. I think I'm going to go with the eggplant because I just think it's really cool. So here's my little takeout bag. I went to Kyoto and Kingston. No shortage of decent Japanese restaurants in Kingston. I like Kyoto. Always enjoyable. So let's take our chopsticks, lay them across our eggplant here. So now I did talk to my sister. I haven't enjoyed sushi, sashimi with my mother in many, many years. Took her to Hokkaido and Newport when she was up here many years ago. And we had a beautiful dinner, just the two of us. But I did ask my sister what some of her favorites were. Because, again, I wanted to honor her memory. So, let's start with some shoyu, soy sauce. Let's see what we have here. Okay, some of Mom's favorites. Sashimi a la carte. We've got the maguro, the red tuna, sake, salmon, and what else did she love? This here. What was that again? Bean. Tuna. Oh, the yellowtail. Right, hamachi. Hamachi, sake, and maguro. So, I'm just going to leave those in the takeout container. I have other, from Vince, I have around here somewhere, beautiful wooden sashimi boards. But they may be out in the garage, and at this point in time, they may be beyond putting food on. Okay, so Mom loved that particular sashimi. And then, and this, according to my sister, and I happen to love hand rolls as well. So I got a couple of temaki hand roll. And what I got is one. She loved eel and avocado. So that's what I got for Mom. Look at that. That's a beauty. But also, at the same time, she loved her brother, Vincenzo, Uncle Jimmy. So I'm honoring him as well. Might as well do the two of them together. And he turned me on to this many years ago. Hand roll of salmon skin. That's one of my favorites. And then, this has nothing to do with Mom or Vincenzo. I tried to get uni because I love it. They had no uni, which I was very surprised on a Friday night for the dinner rush. So I went through their other a la carte options, and I always tried to try something new. They had what was called a crispy potato roll, but it sounded like something you want hot, and I was bringing this stuff home, and I did question her on the phone. She said, yes, that's best eaten hot. Crispy potato roll. I'm going to have to stop in and try that. So what I did get is asparagus roll, which I've never tried. So this is going to be a first. Let me start with that. Mm-hmm. And I got that in honor of myself, because it won't be long now. Sometime, well, I guess March is a little early. I was going to say next month, but in April, the asparagus is going to start coming up, and this is I think it's year 4. And they were banging last year. Now, what's the consensus on this? I've been doing this since I was a kid. I was told this is not traditional to Japanese culture, putting the wasabi in the soy. I don't know, but I like it. I'll have to do a little more research on that. So, what to begin with? Asparagus roll is fantastic. I'll start with a piece of salmon. Sake. Kyoto. Always quality fish. Delicious. So I'm not going to sit here and eat this where you can't look at me on camera. The main thing of this show, and by the way, you order this stuff, they give you the presentation, eat your daikon, eat your shiro leaves, everything is edible, everything is healthful. Daikon radish. However, let me get this camera flipped around. This is going to be a short show in honor of Mom and also Uncle Jimmy. Okay, so the main inspiration for the show really was this. That's what I wanted to get to. Absolutely love it. But I did tell you that this show is also in honor of Mom's brother, Vincenzo. We called him Uncle Jimmy. I asked my grandmother once when I was young, why do we call him Uncle Jimmy when his name's Vincent? And she said, well, that's the nickname for Jimmy in Italian, is Vincent. I don't know. That's what my grandmother told me. Doesn't make any sense to me. Vincenzo, if you went to a restaurant with him, I was in some of the greats. I was in Noble with him down in New York. His friend Yama One of the greatest meals of my life. I tell that story. I won't tell it to you here. It takes too long. We went for our birthday. We were born on the same day. Vincenzo asked for a wine glass. So I got this beautiful Riedel gift from my friend Michael, who came in from Chicago just about a year ago in January and brought 6 bottles of the most fabulous French wine I've ever tasted and will likely never taste again. And he had these Riedels shipped here specifically for his wines. Vincenzo would drink the sake cold. Of course, in Japan, it's a seasonal thing. But I got a nice unfiltered sake to drink Vincenzo style. Now, I don't know what the unfiltered, it's kind of like olive oil. The cloud is at the bottom. Do you shake it up? I guess you do. But if you went to Nobu, Vince would be like, I want a wine glass. So this is in his honor. Uncle Jimmy, saluti. Ooh, this is nice. Little sweet notes. Oh, that's fantastic. The hot sake I'm drinking, I intentionally just bought a basic bottle. This, I shopped around a little. That's why I got the half bottle. This cost as much as that big bottle. Not that it's about money. But that is superb. So, I'll say goodnight in honor of Mom. A little avocado and eel roll. So good. I'm really sorry they didn't have uni. And in honor of Mom's brother, Vincenzo, Uncle Jimmy turned me on years ago to the salmon skin roll, and boy, do I love it. Hamachi, yellowtail. In honor of my mommy. I'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.
Did I say Shiro? My apology. If you watch the show, you know we have no script. I turn this camera on and I just start babbling. And I am prone to making mistakes and just saying things off the top of my head. Shiro is an Ethiopian chickpea stew, which I've been meaning to do. So maybe we'll have to do that on an episode coming up soon. What I meant to say was shiso. And quick tip. If your favorite Japanese place is serving you sashimi with plastic green leaves on the side, find a new place. Shiso. And don't forget to cleanse your palate in between with a little pickled ginger.